Hey! Welcome back to the Breakroom, everybody. It's the nerdy news show you need to know, live from New Rockstars headquarters here. You know what? It's an all Ant-Man episode today.
Whoa!
We're still talking about that trailer from last night. It's all we can talk about, and so it's all we're going to talk about in this episode. With me to do that, we've got Brandon Barrick. We've got Tommy Bechtold over here.
What is this? A show for ants?
Okay, and in between them, we've got the birthday girl, Jessica Clemons.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Yes, it's an actual
and
birthday
just
today.
one more.
Wait, just
Are
one.
you gonna kill me?
And many more.
Yeah. Tiara's in the chat for our queen, Jessica.
And eggplants as well for her.
No,
It's
it's
her
her birthday.
Okay, and
It's her birthday.
Oh, okay, Tommy. Real quick, we're gonna try to get to all super chats. If you super chat us a question about the QUANTUMANIA trailer, we're gonna try to answer all
Or
of
your
them.
thoughts.
Or your thoughts. Or your
fears.
takes.
Or your prayers.
Your prayers.
Or just compliment our fits.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Whoa.
Coles.
Thank you as always to Coles. But let's get right into it because we're so excited to talk about all the lingering threads left over from that trailer. Let's get into the headlines.
Ooh.
Yes.
And leanings.
And all of the headlines today are about Ant-Man because in addition to a trailer, you read a little bit of this on yesterday's episode, but we got a big press release that actually gave us a lot of important, interesting information we did not already know.
Yeah, they
about the
spelled out
movie.
like some character descriptions, lots of quotes from the producers, the actors, the director. It was very interesting.
Yeah. We also got, along with that press release that we'll get into in a second, we got 2 new posters for the movie. There's one. Gorgeous.
So stylish. Put
Send
it up.
us that.
Love those colors.
Don't let your partner say that's not appropriate for company.
Oh.
Why is Hope in the front?
Oh.
Hope is in direct front.
Both those very attractive posters. I like the more stylized kind of helmet
Me too.
one, but that the second one is kind of, that's that classic Marvel look where you get all the characters in there and doing their superhero poses. Okay, and then and real quick, later in this show, we're gonna have a very interesting display of art.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at
Sounds
that.
like a threat.
You will want to stick around to the end of this episode. Okay. But we got some small details about what the plot might look like. This is according to Disney, right? According to the press release, the quantum realm will already be at war by the time Hank, Janet, Scott, Hope, and Cassie arrive. We'll come back to that in a second here. But that's interesting, and that kind of like jives with, we see these kind of like, in the first trailer, we saw those kind of warrior-looking characters, the glowhead guy, different characters kind of show up with armor and
Some quantumaniacs, I call them.
whoa,
Because like Animaniacs, they're trapped.
that's right.
And they don't get fed.
Oh, Hope is, so this is outside of the quantum realm. The movie starts, Hope is now the leader of the Pim Van Dyne Foundation, and she's utilizing the Pim particle to advance humanitarian efforts. And people have speculated that's probably why we see Hope and Scott kind of showing up at the gala in the trailer in their fancy outfits.
Like, thank you for making rice so big.
I know, one
piece
giant,
of
one
rice.
piece of rice can feed a whole country.
Corn.
That is true. That's a good observation because I immediately was like, oh, they're there for his book.
Yeah.
Or his podcast,
Well,
right? Yeah.
and hilariously, we were working on the breakdown of the trailer after we did our live stream last night, and it's like the Global Humanitarian Service Awards, and it's a perfect amalgamation of like 3 actual real life awards that are like the Global Service Awards, the Global Humanitarian Awards, the Service Global Awards. Like, so this is, I believe, a fictional award they're receiving based on 3 very real awards that go out to people who like go into like impoverished areas and make the world a better place.
And I assume it will maybe be, this is going to be very early in the movie, might be even a more comedic part, because I wouldn't doubt if the entire time they're in the quantum realm, stuff's pretty serious.
Yeah.
So maybe the funnier stuff in this movie might be in the very early part before they get sucked into the quantum realm. But like,
You don't think there's a comedy store in the quantum realm? And they're like, hey, it's crazy. We got Louis C.K. here tonight.
okay.
Oh, no.
They're
they
still
know what
booking
he
in the quantum realm?
Yeah, the quantum realm cancellations are 9 years behind. And you should see what Cosby says down there.
Oh, Tommy. But real quick,
Tommy.
I do think like the most obvious is, they blow up like 1 grain of rice to be able to feed a whole village or whatever. What do you think some other ways Pim particles could advance humanitarian efforts?
I mean, it would be great if they could take everyone's waste, human waste, and
Yeah.
just shrink it down in a tiny size.
Even nuclear waste, right?
my waste.
I thought you said waste,
Yeah, I was
as in
like,
like
I
a
like
waste.
that.
I was like, why do they need to be
there's
thin?
too many chubbos that are hanging
No,
around
we've
out
seen
there.
from Darren Cross in the first movie,
Doesn't
you don't
work
want to
out.
only shrink part of you with a
That's
thin
true.
particle.
That's true.
I was thinking, what if they made like a giant cow, but then it was like, what if that giant cow
gotta
starts
feed that giant
stomping
cow.
around
Yeah,
and you
feed
gotta
that
feed
giant
it?
And what if it farts? Hole in the ozone.
Yeah, there's so
That
much
is true.
methane.
That is
Methane, as the people in the UK say it.
Yes. Aluminium.
Aluminium. Advertisement. We also learned that Hank, Janet, and Hope will be separated from Scott and Cassie at some point in the quantum realm. And that kind of makes sense because when we see Janet kind of piloting that big stingray-looking monster, it's Hank and Hope are on there with her, right? And then some of the other scenes, you could tell that it's Scott and Cassie together, including, we didn't get this again in the trailer from last night, but my favorite moment from that first trailer is just the long shot on Cassie's helmet as she's just like kind of like reacting to something. Do you know the second I'm talking about? But it does feel like, you know, the group split up. Maybe this might be more of a father-daughter kind of story. That way we also get 2 father-daughter sets.
Well, yeah, the press release, they did really harp on the idea, like, this is a story about, like, the secrets we keep from our families and the people in your life and, like, how well you really know each other and, like, the lost time, because all of these groups have, like, time lost that has created these barriers between them, and they think they know the other person, but the other person has had their own experiences without each other, and so breaking down those walls.
I hope Peyton Reed has the foresight to go James Gunn on this soundtrack and have Daughter by Pearl Jam and Fathers Be Good to Your Daughters by John Mayer.
Oh, okay.
All playing during the quantum realm explorations of the father-daughter dynamic. Or Dance with My Father Again.
I think there's a song called
Or
Daddy's
Butterfly
Girl.
Kisses.
Daddy's Girl.
Butterfly
Yeah.
kiss.
It's a midnight prayer. Bednight?
Bed bug.
Okay. Also, producer, Quantumania producer Stephen Broussard also gave a very interesting quote about the scale of this movie. And we've talked about this a little bit before, how this seems to be setting up to be a very different kind of Ant-Man movie. He compared the film to Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War, saying it really felt like the future of the MCU is going to be defined by the action of those films. We really like the idea of making this Ant-Man film as important and integral to the MCU going forward. Like, this is not just a little throwaway fun comedy superhero movie. This is gonna be big. This is a game changer kind of movie.
Love it. That, like, the first 2 movies were kind of, they were fun, they were enjoyable, they introduced some overall important technology, but they certainly weren't like, you got to hang your hat on the MCU with these 2 movies. And now this movie, all of a sudden out of nowhere, the third in the franchise, I guess not dissimilar to Thor Ragnarok, it just is like, it's magnifying, no pun intended, the importance of Ant-Man in the MCU and the Ant-Man characters.
Well, Tommy, you made a great point last night that, you know, this is the one where they got to set the tone for Phase 5, but also for, like, Kang. Like, we saw He Who Remains was not really a Kang, right? A different version of a Kang.
He instantly died, basically.
Right.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
this is like, and they can kill a Kang in every movie and still have another Kang. That's fine. But, like, this is the one where, like, he can do some awful things that have, like, wide-reaching effects and, you know, really freak people out.
Yeah.
Freak them out.
Yeah, this has got to be our new Thanos. They gotta give him some gravitas. So we also got some character descriptions of some new characters in this film, including there's some really interesting ones at the end. They're all interesting, but just hold your horses till we get through all these. So now we haven't heard this said aloud in a trailer, so I don't know exactly how to pronounce this character's name, but I'm going to say Gentora.
Wrong! No, it could be Gentora.
Thank you.
Gentura?
Gentora, and we have seen her.
Gentora.
I don't know if we saw her in the most recent trailer. We did see her in the first trailer. She's one of those kind of 3
Masked,
quantum characters. She's the leader of the Freedom Fighters, a group of displaced inhabitants in the quantum realm whose lives were turned upside down by Kang. I assume this is the war that's taking place when they arrive, right?
I don't love the name Freedom Fighters.
What was
Like,
the
don't
name?
tell Kang your name is Freedom Fighters.
Right.
Come up with a name like the Kang Appreciation
Sympathizers.
Society.
What was the name of the people that fought in Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Flag Smashers?
Flag Smashers. Okay, I was like, I thought they were the freedom fighters.
Somewhere.
What's the
Smashers
name?
is also a silly name, in my opinion.
Well, it's very comic book
We
related.
are the Flying Smashers.
Should be. You also don't. Fabric's not something you usually think about smashing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's a folding kind of thing.
You
Maybe
smash
a
hot
ripping.
chicks, you smash beer cans,
Okay.
and you smash bros.
Whoa.
Smash Bros. It's a video
Smash
game.
Bros. That's right. Super. So Gentora is played by actress Katie O'Brien, who, she's like a really jacked MMA fighter kind of actress. And she was quoted as saying, there are living beings in this world, and Gentora is a native. You'll get to explore a lot of the different colonies and the different groups of people that we have here. And then she says this, Broccoli Man is my personal favorite.
Okay.
I love that there's somebody called Broccoli Man. I don't know if that's just like the lingo they used on the set to describe a
part of the
CGI
Broccoli
character.
family?
He's a part of the Broccoli. His
What if
weapon
he-
is throwing James Bond
I
stories.
mean,
What
out.
if he's like a flora? What's Groot? Like a
Flora
florist?
Colossus?
Yeah. What if he's like a Flora Colossus, but he's like just like underdeveloped? Or
Yeah, I mean, well, probably a member of the Brassica family with Agent Brussels Sprout and Senorita Kale.
On Jess's birthday. How could you? How could you?
General Stephen P. Cauliflower.
Yeah, that's right. She says, we have characters that float, we have blobs, we have mind readers, all kinds of zany creatures and humanoids and mysterious things. Which
Is she describing a circus? What's happening
it sounds
here?
like, well, it does remind me of, you just referenced Thor Ragnarok,
Yeah.
right? He lands on
That's a good point.
Sakaar.
and there's all kinds of wide variety of characters.
Not a
and
lot of
creatures there.
prophylactics, though. Hello, Scar. Welcome to the MCU.
Hey, yo.
Hulk's out there raw dogging.
Thomas.
Happy birthday!
It's her birthday.
Not on my.
She asked me to put raw
I
dog in
did
the
not.
episode.
When?
She's pinching me!
We also we learned a bit more about Bill Murray's character, Lord Krylar. He is the governor of Axia, a high-status community within the quantum realm. He also owns a huge pleasure yacht. He and Janet are old acquaintances. And real quick, Lord Krylar does show up in the comics. One issue of like the Amazing or the Incredible Hulk from like the late 70s, early 80s. He did play a character from the Microverse, which is kind of comic book equivalent to Quantum Realm, who like dies in the first issue that he appears in. So I doubt there's a whole lot of connection. They probably just picked a name. They've done that before.
So last night I spent a little time obsessing over this trailer and this press kit, and I tried to unscramble the name Lord Krylar to like a human Earthling name. And Daryl, you can make the first name Daryl out of it. You can also make Carl, but then the last name kind of plot. It's like Daryl Claude or something like that. Because I'm like, I just wanted to be a guy who was like a DirecTV dish installer that got sucked into the quantum realm by accident, and now he's like reinventing himself as Lord Krylar by scrambling up his name. It's a little Voldemort-esque maybe, but wouldn't that be fun if it's just like he's like a MacGuffin or it's all like a ruse that he's this Lord?
And Bill Murray has been quoted as saying he's a bad guy. We know we already got Kang. We already got MODOK. If Bill Murray's also a bad guy, we got 3 potential antagonists for our heroes.
I like that Bill Murray's probably because it seems like he's from a richer community, that he's a bad guy in the form of like a rich man that's just like, I gave Kang what he wanted so he would leave me and my rich folks alone.
Yeah, I think he's a bad guy in the way that Stranger Things always has Carrie always was like the evil, corrupt mayor. Matthew Modine in the first season was like the bad guy scientist, but then there's also like a very powerful monster that's way more powerful, or way more threatening rather. So I have a feeling Bill Murray is like
Bill Murray's the mayor.
And I like what Jessica's saying. Also, every zombie movie, right, usually has like the guy who sells out his fellow survivors.
kill them, not me.
Yeah. Well, and especially if he has a history with Janet, maybe there's a little resentment there, right? Maybe it's not a positive history.
She was in there for decades, but we don't know what decades is like in the quantum realm, so I'm sure in that 100 years she got on that pleasure yacht for a night.
Oh, yeah.
And she may have helped Kang at some point, not knowing like what he was capable of.
Interesting.
Or who he really was.
That'd be fucked up if she got into, effed up. I already said it.
Happy
If she
birthday.
said it.
It's not even 325. Demonetized.
No, it's my birthday. Tell YouTube. But if she got on the pleasure, oh my god, oh gosh. Now you guys got me nervous about cursing. But if she got on the pleasure yacht, and then that's how she conceived. We don't know if she has a baby yet.
She took the P yacht to F Town, is what you're saying?
Whoa, you think she could have some kids?
It's a P yacht, so how are you on the P yacht not going to F Town?
Could Gentora be her daughter, her other daughter, causing a conflict between Hope in Gentoro.
I like that idea. Well, okay, 2 other characters we found out about, and one of these we knew a little bit. So we knew William Jackson Harper had been cast in this, of Chidi from The Good Place, also from Midsommar and other things. He's playing a character called Quaz.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's all we know.
Quaz.
It's from the quantum realm, and he's called Quaz.
Some people think it might be Quasar, who's like a character who's kind of associated with this whole area of the Marvel comics. So possibly playing Quasar.
And again, he's a known actor, so he might be a significant role. Or maybe this movie's just stacked deep with people you recognize.
Blake Bell was like an unnamed soldier in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I mean, I think she had a name, but like she was in for 4 minutes.
Hey, she can't expect to get too big of a role in Wakanda Forever.
Hey, Blake Bell can do whatever she wants.
Get out of here.
Look up How to Make It in America, okay, guys? I'm just saying. Google Blake Bell.
Okay, don't.
What happens in that movie with her?
It's a TV show and nothing. She's great in it.
And then this is some of the weirdest detail. David Dasmalkian, who of course was in Scott Lang's crew in the first 2 movies, is playing a new character called Veb. No details on who those characters are, but we assume, there may be somebody in the quantum realm. So, is this, I'm going to guess he's like a CGI character that David Dasmalkian is just voicing.
He could be that light head person we've seen.
Yeah, or he could be the bartender. Why did they show the bartender in that?
And also, David Dasmalkian used a pretty thick accent in the first 2 movies. So maybe if he uses just kind of like more of an American or a standard accent in this, it's unrecognizable. But Peyton Reed was like, I want to get him in there.
I like this guy.
What's a stupid example is he's probably going to be playing a character where they're like, oh, let me play something that's more comfortable to your liking. And then they examine his brain or something. And he's like, here's a voice that you're comfortable with knowing. And it's a monster playing that voice.
Yeah. Veb.
That's sometimes how they just throw people in.
I like that. Now, do we think Michael Pena might show up in some way?
I
It
hope
would be
in
a great
post-credit
surprise reveal. Yeah,
I'm going to guess T.I. does not.
No, probably
scene.
not.
No, he's
T.I.
too busy doing his own investigations.
Hey!
But maybe Michael Pena. Maybe they get
Structural
his
integrity is
some
everything.
voice acting, something like that. Again, he's an important part of the series. Okay, so we have, again, a very interesting display of art coming later in the show.
And I want to mention before we get into our ads, guys, it's Jessica's birthday.
Yeah.
If you want to Venmo her at Tommy Bechtold or use my new Cash App, Cha-Ching! Which is powered by Russian deep dark web websites. You can Cash App me, you can Cha-Ching me.
He won't give me the money.
At TommyBoy69420.
He won't give me the money.
What does Wired Magazine say about Cha-Ching?
Oh yeah, Wired Magazine says no. Do not put your money in that app unless you're nasty.
We are getting a lot of super chats. We should get to those here in a second, especially a lot saying happy birthday to our dear Jessica, and lots of great questions. But first, we gotta pay the bills, folks.
That's
and
right.
We gotta talk about our great sponsors today. I'm trying to save some money in 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know about you
That's
guys.
why I'm going to Vegas next weekend.
Trying to see Frank Ocean at Coachella, folks.
I'm there for Blackpink and DJ Ramos, which is a name I just made up, but I bet you didn't know that.
And a great way to save a little money is to use this great app called Upside, which you can use when you're buying gas, groceries, or dining out, any of those things. With Upside, you can get cash back on your purchases you make every day, the usual purchases you're going to make anyways. It's basically cash back for just doing you, folks. Upside even offsets inflated prices by giving you cash back on purchases. It's also super easy to use.
I gotta say, I
app.
use the Upside app all the time. Anytime I need gas in my car, check that app, see like what gas station around me is offering a good deal, and I go to that gas station, I save a bunch of money.
Yeah, and right now, if you download the free Upside app, use our promo code Breakroom, all one word, Breakroom, you get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon of gas on your first tank of gas that you get with them. Like we said, it's really easy. It's an app. You claim the offer in the app. You go, you do your thing. You pay as usual with your credit or your debit card, and then the app will tell you how you get your reward. You can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside than most credit card rewards or loyalty programs. Plus, Upside doesn't sell your personal information to third parties. What? It'll never show up on Cha-Ching. Upside users are earning hundreds of dollars a year. They have a great rating in the App Store, 4.8 stars. No bragging, but that's pretty good, folks.
Yeah. As Jay pointed out yesterday, someone very petty refused to give them 5 stars.
Someone very petty.
It's like when your Uber rating is 4.9, you're like, what driver?
Yeah.
Just thought I smelled.
Use this app to save money on gas. I use it all the time when it's like, oh, where are we going to go out to eat tonight? I don't know. I just find a place in the app to go out to eat.
Yeah.
Makes that decision even easier. So download the free Upside app and use promo code Breakroom. That's promo code Breakroom to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of
Trying to
gas.
save you money out here, folks. Speaking of saving money.
Oh, let me tell you, are you like me? For your sake, I hope not. I want to let you know about a sponsor I really appreciate. That's HelloFresh. Eating well is at the top of my mind this month. It's no secret I've set my New Year's resolution, fit on every ride at Universal Studios Hollywood, and wear the Faraday classic iconic sweatshirt, okay? And neither of those are happening without HelloFresh. It's comforting to know you always get top quality with HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes dinner time easy peasy with fresh and fast and furious recipes. HelloFresh also has a line of delicious filling meals that are ready in less than 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like sesame beef tacos, Thai spiced pork meatballs, or their winner orzo chicken dinner meal. Or for me, I do a loser chicken snoozer meal. We here at Breakroom love HelloFresh. And as I've said before, I used to feed a family of 3 with them. Now I feed a family of 1. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit for people struggling and people thriving. And you should try it for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/Breakroom. That's right. You got to use Breakroom22. Use the code Breakroom22 for 22 free meals plus shipping. For me, that's 2 to 3 days worth of HelloFresh meals. For the rest of the world, a solid week. That's HelloFresh.com/Breakroom22. And if you don't use the code, I'll come to your house. Use the code Breakroom22. It's time for the discussion.
Okay. What if they want you to come to their house?
If you want me to come to your house and cook for you, I will, because I miss people eating with me.
Oh, Tommy.
I hate eating alone.
Well, I refuse.
Jessica makes me eat in front of her, but she hides behind a curtain, makes mean comments. She goes, chew on your food, piggy boy. Happy birthday, Jessica. Another year of that.
Don't out me like that. I don't know.
Sometimes she hits me. All right, now. And I like it when she does. Last night, we got a brand spanking new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp. You guys all saw it. QUANTUMANIA. We were watching that riveting football game. And oh boy, thank God that trailer came out, because otherwise, that'd be a night I'd love to forget.
The football game?
Yeah, that game was awful. But
you
this
had
trailer,
on the Horny Toads.
I did. I was toading. I put a load on the toad, and let me tell you now, I'm not eating my ice cream a la mode.
You got scorned by the horned, I think.
Right. Those toads went chode mode on me. All right, now, anyway, let's get back to the trailer. Packed full of new details. We got a much better idea of what our version of Kang is going to go like. God, this red light is really making my head dance. Much better idea of what this version of Kang will look like. Our first look at MODOK. More on him later. Now I feel like you're messing with me. Cassie's in jail. A whole lot of Scots, which has us asking, what's the deal with all these different Ant-Men?
Yeah, what is the deal?
We see Scott splitting into 2 multiple times. We see Scott splitting into 2 multiple times in the trailer. Suppose we see a full-on Ant-Man swarm, you guys. Do we think these different Scotts are one of the following things? And I'll get into each one in specific detail, because your boy was up late doing homework last night. Are these Scotts variants? You know, like we saw in Loki, which are basically like mistakes or accidental timeline breaches off of the sacred timeline created by He Who Remains. R.I.P. Rest in piss. Side effect of the quantum nexus, which, as we know, is the point in the quantum realm where reality begins to distort. Things fold in on themselves. Cheese folds in like on Schitt's Creek. Or is it multiversal incursions like we saw in Mom? Multiverse of Madness. Tom DeMaximoff thinks it might be that. Or is this just Kang being a little stinker?
Interesting.
This all could be Kang being a little stinker. Now, let's break it down here. Let's go with the first one. We have the variants. We know, obviously, our introduction to a Kang, not the Kang in this movie, He Who Remains, was in Loki Season 1 with the TVA. We saw that there are all these variants of Loki that don't necessarily even have to be Tom Hiddleston Loki, right? We have Sylvie, we have a freaking alligator, we've got Richard Grant Loki. We've got Boastful Loki, we've got Kid Loki, we've got President Loki, which is Tom Hiddleston, so it's a little bit of me contradicting myself. You guys think these are variants, these Scotts?
Well, so that's interesting in that in the trailer, they all look exactly like Paul Rudd, right? There are no alligator Ant-Mans or female Ant-Mans that we saw, right? So, like, that would seem to be evidence that it's not variants.
Right, their costumes are all the same too. It's like, and we physically see one split into two.
Yeah, which is not what happens in Loki, obviously.
Right.
But now that would mean if they're variants and not some things we're going to talk about, that would mean they're all 616 Ant-Man.
Right.
Right? Like different timelines, but same multiverse.
But the variants are all on the same sacred timeline. The multiversal incursions are the different versions. So I think, sorry to cut you off, the different Scotts, the fact that they look the same does still play into the fact that they could be variants, because a variant can be formed just by someone doing something that goes against the sacred timeline. So Scott could be reacting in a way that is not planned by He Who Remains, and therefore another copy of Scott is branching out into that new timeline.
And this is the one place in the universe,
Where
whatever,
you can see it
where you
physically
see it happen
Yes.
in the moment, and you instantly split off and become another one of you.
Exactly.
And so do you think the reason we see so many Ant-Man that they can like pile up is maybe Scott does that on purpose?
Well, I'm wondering if he kind of uses his ability to control ants. Maybe he knows that he can kind of like influence the suit as well. Or maybe, I mean, like, this is crazy, but maybe they're like how Iron Man has like the drone versions of Iron Man. Maybe these are just like Ant-Man drones that we don't even know
He's
about.
the Queen?
That we're going to find it. Yeah, maybe there's something like that.
Oh,
He's the
interesting.
Queen. Maybe these are just a bunch of Ant-Man suits that can move around. And
Well, and I feel like there are two important shots in that trailer, one of which was in the previous trailer too, right? We see multiple Ant-Man running in the same direction, including the giant man that turns into spaghetti, right? And then there's the other moment where Scott seems to be getting almost swallowed up by the hands, the bodies of a bunch of other. See, in this one, when they're piled up, they seem to be collaborating. That's like real ants when they make a little bridge with their bodies or whatever.
We saw this
right?
in like the first Ant-Man
They
movie.
seem to be working together there. I guess though they could be climbing on top of each other, trying to be the one Ant-Man that reaches the top, and they're stepping on each other's heads or whatever. Or they're collaborating to try to win for all of the Ant-Man. But in that moment in which he's getting swallowed up, and he says, doesn't he say out loud, "I'm sorry, Cassie"?
Yeah,
Well,
it seems
it's hard
like-
to tell if that's something he's saying in that moment, if that line is
That could be trickery.
ADR'd over.
Also-
they love to trick us with that kind of stuff.
And it could be it's not that he's being swallowed. It could be that structurally it's not holding, right? Like maybe it's like, oh, we were so close to getting out of the pit, and then we didn't. Like we're so close to reaching this thing, and then it collapsed. All right, so let's talk about the side effect of the quantum nexus possibility. Now, the quantum nexus, like all nexus points, is like a chaotic point where reality can be bent and skewed. I think that they're in the quantum nexus, and that's why we see Giant Man turning into a string cheese. I think, we saw in Infinity War, Thanos does that to Mantis.
Yep.
And then obviously in Multiverse of Madness, we saw Mr. Fantastic very famously get turned into
Something less fantastic.
something a little less fantastic.
And you made a great point, Tommy, with those earlier in the office, where you were saying both those moments are driven by red kind of like chaos magic from Wanda, but reality stone work from Thanos.
Yes.
Now, like, Wanda's powered by like the Mind Stone, but she has chaos magic,
Yes.
which often presents itself as like reddish.
yeah.
So this could all be like fuel. This power that the Reality Stone has could be fueled by like the Nexus.
Right. I'm
Quantum
wondering.
Nexus.
I'm wondering. We brought up yesterday, and it seems to make more sense to me now, as the more we kind of watch the trailer and go over it. If the Infinity Stones were smashed to atoms, and specifically that language was used by Thanos, if they have sprinkled into the quantum realm,
they floated down.
Because we're smaller than
there's
atoms.
amber, goldish lighting in it. There's obviously the blue. There's the red. I'm sure if we go back and look, there's some green in there. There appears to be Infinity Stone color elements. Obviously, colors are very important to Marvel. Go to an MT video, check it out. The man has endless research and theories on it that are all, I think, kind of supporting this. So it does, to me, seem like maybe there is some Infinity Stone power going on in the quantum realm. Now, Brandon, we've been talking about this. At a certain point, the multiverse has to come into play in these movies at the same time as the TVA and sacred timeline. We have branch timelines. We have a multiverse. We haven't really seen them combined in something. Multiverse of Madness was strictly about different Doctor Stranges from different Wandas from different universes.
Yeah,
right?
no mention of timelines in that movie.
Exactly. It wasn't like, it made a very distinct thing that like this is a completely other Earth 838. that is different from 616 that is our main one. That's where we had Dr. Fantastic, Captain Britain, all those people. So it's like, is there a way they can get the multiverse into the quantum realm? Does that make any sense?
And this would be the argument that all those Scots we see, that is 1 million Scots sent by 1 million Kangs, all to do the same thing or achieve the same
I love
goal,
that
right?
theory. I think Heavy Spoilers mentioned that in their video. Was like, there is the possibility that this is just like tons of Kangs are sending tons of Scots from everywhere to all get the same item, and they're all like in a mad world.
It's a live action like Fall Guys video game.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people racing at once.
Or that game,
Who can get to
PC
the
game
end?
Lemmings, which although the Lemmings video is tragically it's a work. If you guys do research on the Lemmings walking
right.
out the side of the
It's a
hill, they were
myth.
coaxed into it.
It's a myth. Yeah.
They were promised an orgy at the bottom of that cliff. And for me, I gotta say, there's been times in my life I'd walk off a cliff for a little bit of action. All right, now, finally, option D, I think. I don't know. Is this something Kang is doing, guys?
Just
Is this
like
all
a
this
little
Kang-
Kang
And so
magic,
that
yeah.
could include, this is like an illusion, some
Yes,
kind
yes,
of
you brought that up
trippy
earlier, yes.
thing that he's, a Mysterio-esque kind of thing that he's putting Scott through.
Right.
What else could Kang be doing in these scenes, do
I
you
think that okay, and I talked about this on Inside Marvel, so go watch Inside Marvel when it drops.
Yeah, go watch it anyway.
Because watch it anyways. So I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna try duping Kang, and there's no way you can dupe Kang. That sounds stupid, I know, but
My nickname
Scott
was Duke
tries.
Kang in high school. Duke Kang. You know him, Duke Kang?
dupe Kang squared. So I think they're trying to dupe Kang, and I think that orb that we're seeing might have something to do with how Janet, Hank, and Hope are at. And I think them all climbing each other to get to him is to stop him from actually leaving out of it. I think the entire, all we're seeing of multiples of Scott are all illusions created by Kang. So when Hope goes in there, she's like, I don't know which one to grab because I don't see ours. And when he's climbing to the top to get to it, she's reaching and they're trying to stop him and pull him in. And I don't think it is ADR. I think him saying, I'm sorry, Cassie, is a part of like, I tried to redeem myself. I tried to get back over on him, and it's not working. I also essentially think Cassie is going to be the first one to die, so that's part of why.
Whoa!
That's a huge prediction. I love it.
You have to
On
watch
your
Inside
birthday.
Marvel to see
And
why.
do we all agree, whatever the reason for all these Scots is, and whatever MacGuffin, whatever those rings represent, whatever that is, Kang's goal is to get out of the quantum
needs
realm.
out.
He wants to get out into the normal world so that he
Right.
can conquer the 616 that we know and love. Do we think that's it?
I mean, I think that is his main goal. I also wonder if that realm, the actual Nexus realm, or Quantum Nexus, is a little bit of Nolan Interstellar logic that, like, the longer you're down there, even in the quantum realm, time moves different. You know what I mean? That could be like Scott's failure setting up. Like, that could be why Kang Kang could be tricking him to go down there to eliminate Ant-Man. He may see that PIM technology and Ant-Man's like wielding of it is the one thing that could kind of stop him, and he's like, let me get him down there.
Yeah.
And then he's stuck down there, and time is moving differently.
There's the theory, right, that like, though the first trailer especially made it seem like the whole Pym Lang family got sucked in kind of a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of accidental way, but like that it's not an accident, and Kang is somehow forcefully pulling them, summoning them, whatever that might be.
I think you're right, though. Ultimately, the goal, I think Kang, and then he's going to take MODOK's little hand and get them out of there. And then I think Kang is going to restart AIM with a puppet Aldrich Killian type character who is actually just another Kang or something like that.
I think he's
Then we get the Council of Kangs.
Damn it, no. Go watch Inside Marvel. Go watch, I was about to say the same thing that we talked about on Inside Marvel.
even
And
better.
Inside Marvel, we talk about this too.
Also,
It's out on Thursday.
out on Thursday. Watch Inside Marvel on Thursday. Watch this episode today. If you want more on MODOK, watch our channel. We have a MODOK video coming out tonight.
Tommy.
Now, we already talked about Scott having... does 616 Scott have the ability to control these duplicates? It does seem like he can at least get them to work together. So either by cult-like charisma or actual mind control.
Do we think the TVA might show up? If these are timeline things,
Yeah.
could we see
I think they got... I mean, I don't know. Maybe since this is the first film of Phase 5, right, technically, maybe they won't quite bring it in, but it's like, it's only a matter of time before you have to have TVA and multiversal themes coming into everything, right?
Well, I
This
don't
is
think
the
they can.
multiverse saga.
I don't think they can reach the quantum realm.
Yeah,
It's kind of
that
hard
would
to
be
get
my
into
thing.
it, and
Yeah.
so and he's trapped in it. And if he is banished there by He Who Remains, there is no way anyone else can get out.
Yeah, and it seems the quantum realm seems special, right? Like it takes very specific technology to get there, and apparently it's impossible to get out, right? At least for Kang, one of the most powerful creatures in existence or whatever. Yeah, that's interesting. Why do we think that giant man is getting turned into spaghetti?
I think that is just a product, honestly, or just simply the quantum nexus reality just it reacts strange there. I think that like the longer you're there, the more unstable the atoms in your own body might become. Probably if you're increasing or decreasing in size of that, it maybe even triggers kind of a defense mechanism from the realm itself, like or from the nexus point itself, where it's like, I don't like this, I don't want any weird, I don't want incursions, I don't want variants.
Like maybe they're almost flying too close to the sun,
Right.
except for instead of burning up, you can,
You
turn
go
it
through
What
a
into
if
greater.
they're using? Remember in Hawkeye how they had the PIM tech arrows? What if there is a part of the equipment that they do have that they're destroying each of them? If my theory is right, and these are all just illusions created by Kang, if the Pims, Janet, Hope, and Hank are destroying them with the technology that they do have, and they die in different ways. One's string, one's dust, one's
I like
water.
that because again, we see those in that shot. We see those Scots running in the same direction. They could be racing each other.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily working together, and so that could be like kind of sniper style. Hank and Hope and whoever are kind of picking off these alternate alternate Scots to help their Scot win the race. Right?
Sure.
Fall Guys. I told you guys.
Fall
Well,
Guys.
geez, Tom, you've been talking a lot in this episode. Maybe let someone else talk. Too bad. It's time for mandatory fun.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We love it when you talk a lot, Tommy.
I know, but I always feel like the more my voice gets out, the more people want to shout, "Hey, what is he talking about?" Now, it's mandatory fun, and it's Jessica's birthday, so we're gonna play the graphic again. Hey, hey.
I didn't want to play it again.
Now, Jessica says no more graphic. Play the thirsty thespian bit.
No,
Yum yum. Come on, yum yum.
No,
Play
Thank
it.
you.
Not even John.
Play it. Show us the Ant-Man poster, then, you coward.
John's holding out.
Stop.
You're not gonna play any more graphics? On my show? There we go.
Somebody stole the HDMI cable.
Yeah, by the way, if you took our HDMI cable, return it. We're in Winnipeg, and we
They're
need
hard
it
to
back.
get.
Now, let's focus up here, guys. The Animaniac, the Quantumania trailer blew our socks off with so much new footage. We got MODOK, more Kang, and lots of different Ant-Men.
Amen.
There was one thing that really stuck with us, though, huh? And that was Kang going all Seth Rollins and curb stomping Ant-Man and breaking his mask.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Now, we here, spelled incorrectly by me, at the break room. I spelled here like hearing.
It's okay. They didn't know.
Let me
They
tell
didn't know unless you told them. They
Let me tell you
wouldn't
this. Let me tell you this right now.
Save it for what we got
Not
wrong.
a classically smart person. I can memorize things, but I cannot write.
And you're good at math.
Here at the break room, thank you, Jessica, are men and women of peace.
Wait, what are we hearing?
We're hearing a message of peace.
He's dying.
Happy birthday, Jessica. You're 18 years old today. Anyway, we here at the break room are women and men of peace, so we decided we're going to build back in the wake of Kang's destruction. And we're going to make our own Ant-Man masks. And these will be displayed in our break room art gallery for peace and prosperity for all of the year so that the new Rockstars employees, new and old, can see the precious art that we made.
Yeah.
Now, let's take turns. I think, Brandon, you got to go first.
Okay.
Yours is so
And
incredible.
unlike what we saw in the trailer, because we were so disturbed by it, these will not get smashed at all.
Yeah, no,
These
these are going
are-
to be they're going to be on display.
Yeah, these important art effects will
These
be on display.
Look
Okay.
at that.
I call
Brandon made this
this.
mask
This is Ant-Man Prime.
today. These are not being smashed, guys, because these are art.
This is
And
art.
I'll be honest.
This is made out of a Prime box.
We've
Ant-Man Prime.
We've vetoed this before, but like Willy Wonka, I've been begging us to open the studio up to fans. We might let some fans come in and see these masks.
Yeah.
That's how special they are. Jessica,
our
do
gallery.
you want to show yours last? Because it's your birthday?
Because mine's bad.
Oh, Tommy has one.
Why
No,
don't we
it's not.
start
It's
with
great.
yours?
I don't know.
looks
I don't make
fantastic,
the
Jessica.
rules.
I
might
like
step on
Brandon's.
that one.
It's both named Prime because it's a Prime box, but also kind of has an Optimus Prime
got
energy
a
to it
Optimus.
too.
Mine is called Post Malone. It's a Post Malone tribute
okay.
with some foam. There's some bugs
some
on
bugs.
top. He has Post Malone's trademark always tired tattoos under his eye. He also has a teardrop tattoo implying that he's witnessed a murder. It's under the witness eye, not the committed eye.
That's good.
Wow.
Okay, Jessica said she wants to go last.
Okay.
Mine's right here.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
never
great.
mind.
Yeah, Jessica has a great one.
Careful.
Again, guys,
Precious.
these are going to be displayed
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
This is my Handmaid's Tale.
Wow.
Handmaid's Tale.
No, Tommy said we could make a mask for anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, the bus just ran over me a bit, but that's all right. It's your birthday. You can throw people under
And
the
then
bus.
I actually didn't have time to make one,
What?
but I found one.
You found one.
Yeah, somebody else in the office must have made one, so I'm just kind of gonna show it. I don't know. It's very minimalist. What does it say?
Wow, step on me.
I
I
have a secret.
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh my God.
I don't.
It's
I
not
don't-
really a
but we
mask.
can't do that because we are not going to smash
we're not
these.
gonna
No,
smash
again, yeah,
we are
don't-
not going to. These
Unlike
are art
Kang.
pieces.
Unlike Kang, these will be safe forever.
Yeah, these
Well,
are.
but
not
I don't know. It does feel like somebody, whoever left this or wanted
Wants
it,
it
Step on it.
should.
What? What are
It's
you
your
saying?
birthday.
It says step on me.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I
then
guess.
do you want to step on
If
it?
any man asks to step
All
on.
right, we can smash one. We'll smash one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I don't
smash
like the
two because I'm gonna
precedent
smash that
no,
one
do
now.
not
We'll
touch
smash
mine.
one, but we're
You
not going
said
to
I
smash.
could.
We're not going to smash the ones that we actually worked on.
Yeah.
I also don't think I can.
Oh, I
Whoa!
do.
Hey,
Oh.
something just came out of it.
What is it? What's the secret? You're
What does
fired.
it say?
It says Rudd's Bud.
Rosebud.
No, it says Rudd's Bud.
It does say red.
Rosebud.
Paul Red.
Oh.
Wait, there's something inside of
Wait,
that.
there's another
Oh, there's more.
what is this mystery? Rudsbud.
so strange.
What's happening?
The best. It's taped to itself.
Oh my God.
The best 2023 Marvel movie will be
Okay,
Oh,
whoa,
it's
and then there's another thing inside of that.
Wow.
La La Land.
We really were undersold on this. I have
Jesus
to say.
Christ! It
Whoever
says
this person-
Morbius 2 still Morbius.
No.
No!
I don't know what that is.
my
Can
God.
I step on this
Wait
one?
a
now?
second. You found that?
found that.
Found that?
Here, you can have
Wow.
That's crazy.
Inside of a red
All
bud?
right.
I mean, Jessica, it is your birthday, I guess. You can't. Well,
What?
I mean, like,
Whoa!
I worked very hard on that. I don't think you
Well,
should.
you're.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Oh my God!
Oh, Brandon, it's only fair. Smash hers.
No, I can't do it.
Smash hers.
I don't think the view of a white
I
man
mean,
smashing
neither
a
of you need
handmaid-
to
You
win.
have to smash the matriarchy.
Neither of you have to win if we all lose. I'm just saying.
You can smash it. It's
Oh
your
my
birthday.
God! Yeah, if all of us lose, then none of us
Whoa!
win.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh!
Oh!
Whoa!
Fine.
Oh!
Fine.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
but we're not gonna smash Tom.
No,
I think
I
that's
know,
the
I
greatest
know what I
honor.
must do.
No.
I know I'm not gonna smash
If all of us lose, then none of us win, and I've got a celebrity smasher.
What?
Whitney,
Whoa!
my darling,
Is that Kang's music?
ladies and gentlemen, smash variant. Whitney Van Lenningham will be smashing my Postman loan.
But
Yeah.
he's so pretty.
You got to put him on the white dot
put him
down
on-
there. That's
Right there will be good. There you go. There you go.
I'm wearing my big skin.
Careful, don't fall.
Whoa!
Look at those.
Mazel tov!
Mazel tov!
Mazel tov!
Ladies and gentlemen, so sorry. We will never let you losers in our
Wow,
studio.
thank you,
no.
Whitney.
This
Thank
time
you,
we're
Whitney.
next.
No.
The art gallery is closed for business.
Wow,
I
that's what
feel
we get.
so happy.
Mandatory fun was
was up all night
mandatory.
working.
We want to
felt
shout out
better.
some of the folks sending in super chats. David Z saying, "Happy birthday, Jess!"
Thank
Thank
you.
you, David Z. Grant Hill loved your work with the Phoenix Suns and the Orlando Magic. Grant,
Yes.
do you
Not
think?
with Duke, though.
No. Do you think there is a connection between the orange and blue energy of the 10 rings and the orange energy of He Who Remains and the blue of Quantum
I was
Kang?
thinking that when you see those kind of rings flowing, they kind of look like the 10 rings. They
Yeah.
got weird writing on them. It's gold. Shang-Chi turned the 10
Do you
rings
know how
gold.
mad I would be if they were like, it was like, this is an old, like, cultural thing, and then He Remains was like, I just made it.
I did it.
I just made it.
That's what my handwriting looks like. Yeah.
I got those at a Hobby Lobby.
Crispy Chrissy sending in the super chat.
I'm sorry.
Spaghettification is a real thing. So when the atoms of your body are stretched when in proximity of massive gravitational force, like a black hole, you get slurped up by the singularity. Oh, our good friend Chrissy coming in
You
with
guys
the
look at how
facts.
sad Brandon is right now.
That's kind of like Ant-Man after the helmet gets
The
stomped.
gallery was going to be huge. I'm so devastated. We're going to have to do another art day.
We promised we weren't smashing.
I like
You swore to me you wouldn't smash it.
our good friend TD Jones coming in with a good thought here. With previously thought deceased people showing up in the quantum realm, I think he's referring to, we think MODOK is going to be Darren Cross there. Does anyone think we have a Wanda sighting? He also throws in a happy birthday, Jess. Thank you, TD Jones.
Oh, thanks.
No Wanda. I'm low on Wanda for this one.
I'm good without it.
I'm low on
Only
Wanda.
people that have been shrunken into goo
Yeah.
might show up in quantum
Oh, what
realm,
if the
probably.
flushed guy is in there?
Oh, the guy
Frank?
that... Poor Frank.
He's in the pipes.
Come on,
He's in the
Frankie.
walls!
Coach Walk pointing out that the weird Phantom Miss Minutes account that is yet to be confirmed that it's run by Disney or anything like that was tweeting out the trailer.
Oh, boy.
On Twitter.
We need to do a video on that or talk about it.
We need to do an investigation.
We need a full load investigation.
And you know what I always say? We thank Coach Walk for giving us Coach Run. And Coach Run for giving us Coach Fly.
Also, Tommy, that Miss Minutes Twitter account,
Yeah.
does she follow the Cogsworth?
She follows the Beauty and the Beast because they have the crossover event of the century.
What is it again?
Cogsworth destroys Miss Minutes' gears.
Oh,
Miss
gears.
Minutes, Cogsworth's grandfather clock hand.
He's human again.
Oh,
He's
God.
human again.
You look lovely today. I will destroy you with my minute hand.
Okay.
And I'll use my hour
He
hand.
ain't no 1 minute hand, dude.
Hey, oh.
Break the clock. Show me what you got. I don't want no 1 minute hand. Break me off. Show me what you got. I don't want no 1 minute
it's your
hand. Happy
birthday.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Vojislav Varjachik, I'm sure I butchered your name. But
Play for the Bulls?
yeah, I know. He's got a great jumper. Kang doesn't want to come near the golden sphere because he's afraid of his variants. I like that as an idea of like, that's the
sphere's
reason all these
generating
Kangs send all these Scots, because the Kangs don't want to run into other Kangs. That's a really interesting theory.
They don't like each other.
No, and they know that they kill each other. John Wright sending in a super chat. Do you think there is a realm within the quantum?
I mean,
I would
there
love
probably
that.
is, and it's called the Shadow Realm.
Well, don't you talk to me. But it's also very Rick and Morty-esque because there is an episode where they have a miniverse and a
Right.
miniverse and a miniverse inside of Car. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if the writers of Rick and Morty that are now writing basically the MCU were like, yeah, we can do that.
Well, and it stands to reason that the further science in our world, we always think we find the smallest thing and there's something smaller. So
Yeah.
in theory, if there is a small thing, there's another smaller thing.
There's a smaller Kang
Yeah, yeah.
inside of a universe that
Yeah, yeah.
Kang created within the quantum realm.
Oh.
He's queen.
He's
Kiana
He's a
Chanel
little
sending in
Kang.
a super chat. Bucky Barnes, ATL, Frey Girl, thank you all. Xenix saying,
They didn't keep the name of Earl of Puke.
Well, it was puke, 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 puke of Earl, puke of Earl.
and Xenix
Earl.
pointing out that some people are criticizing the CGI in these trailers. I thought it looked incredible.
Yeah.
They're
Most
so
people is
mad
MODOK.
about MODOK, but there is no way. He was ridiculous in the comics. He's gonna look
Yeah,
ridiculous
yeah.
here.
It's a giant floating head.
Yeah, what do you guys want? His face small and head big? That'd
Did
been
you
scary.
want them to cast a real floating head?
Yeah.
Is that what you
Plus,
wanted?
I mean, and we also know they're still tweaking stuff.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
they've added, there are shots in this trailer that are kind of in earlier trailers where they've put in more stuff. We see this with every movie.
But
and they're always still
that's the
tweaking,
thing.
but
I feel like with MODOK, that was the one
Yeah.
that you guys don't need to fix because keep him
It
ridiculous.
should look silly.
She-Hulk's different. This is like, oh, he is silly because he's the craziest looking villain. Like, keep him crazy.
yeah.
Guys, if you
Absolutely.
want my thoughts, please send a cha-ching over to my account.
No,
Tommy
stop
Bechtold
it.
42069. 16 exclamation points, 1 hashtag.
Thank you. Before we get out of here, thank you to AJB, Bandana B310, Ebenezer Splooge.
Hey.
We love you,
GSU.
GSU.
DJ Cold Cuts.
DJ Cold Cuts.
Hey, that's not your name, DJ Colcutt.
Jasmine Victor, Boogie's World, Christian, our good friend Christian Unpronounceable,
Yes.
and everybody else that was in the chat and enjoying the show today. We appreciate you. We're gonna, again, as Tommy pointed out, much more Ant-Man coverage on our channel, including a MODOK video that should be dropping very soon. Jessica's going to be in an Inside Marvel episode on Thursday.
Tomorrow, tomorrow we'll have the full trailer breakdown out that
Yes.
he's hosting. Tommy put a lot of work into that one as well. So
you.
lots of Ant-Man on the
Yep.
channel this week.
Yep.
And he's got a video about Cassie coming out later this week. So
And
check it
I'm
out.
very excited to announce I've been leaving a plate full of crumbs next to my bed every night to harness the power of ants in my own personal life.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, I don't like that for you.
I do that, but I'm Roach guy.
Yeah, you are a roach
Ant-Man
guy.
and Roach guy.
Me, I'm just a rat king. Want to see my tongue?
It's her birthday.
All right. We thank you all for watching. We all wish Jessica the happiest
Yes.
of birthdays.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to our queen. We love
Thank
you
you guys
so
for letting
much.
me stomp on your pieces. It
I
actually
didn't
Letting
not
you.
at all.
It was
Justin,
against,
usually I
it
have
was
to
against
Venmo
my
you
will.
$50 so you'll step on me.
Yeah, I'm doing it for
free.
free today. I'm giving out free stomps.
All right. Come back. We'll be back at our normally scheduled time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Sometimes 3:00.
Sometimes 3:05 sharp. Everybody,
Sometimes 7:30.
have a great day. Keep it Gucci to Moochie, everybody.
Keep it Gucci to
Latest,
Moochie.
Gators.
Bye.
Bye, roommate.